The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Now the number 8 rusher in the NFL last season, it's Elijah Mitchell.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
This defense for the Niners, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Slot man moves right.
Right back to Mitchell on second down.
And he's got room. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
A run here for J.D. McKissick.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
First down, here's Mitchell.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Right back to Mitchell here.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. And the grab by Croft.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
To throw is Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And his kick is indeed good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Here's Tannehill. Dobbins on the slant route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st down, Tannehill. And this one caught by Travis Kelce.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw complete here to Waller. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. The Niners at 500, sitting at 5-5. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And he rifles one incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Throwing again is Tannehill. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Boswell's kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Play action. It's Wilson. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They will run it. It's McKissick. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again with McKissick. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
'49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Dancing to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going.
Touchdown 49ers. Travis Kelsey with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers
Eagles have taken the lead.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-3. The 49ers ready to kick it away. And here we go. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Buying time to his left.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Wilson. And a catch right side by Evans.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
To throw again is Wilson.
Completes this to J.D. McKissick out of the backfield.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Here's McKissick. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, it definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this 1-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Tannehill. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 16 more on that one and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Jair Elam makes a pick, and the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
Let's go. The Niners take over first down at the 46-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. He finds Corey Davis.
Down inside the 10.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now Tannehill. Forced under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Tannehill. Caught on the slant. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And when you run a drag route like this down near the goal line, you're hoping maybe you get an inadvertent pick to set your man free. A lot of people call them natural screens, but this was well defense, and they stopped him for just a short gain.
Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
Boswell's kick is good, and that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular. If they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is going to be 49er football.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here comes Dobbins on the toss right.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. As soon as he caught that toss and looked upfield, you could tell they had a big numbers advantage blocking-wise.
They certainly did, which means oftentimes your safety will be unblocked. That means he's got to play it.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Darren Waller from 3 yards out. And the Niners will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Boswell good with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action, Tannehill. He completes this to Russell Gage. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill.
And the Niners are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson.
He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Wilson will throw again. And he'll just get rid of it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. This whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it they're picking up the 1st down. Wilson. Eluding the pressure right.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Montez Sweat picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still
trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Saints are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's got a man, complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Airing this one out for Evans.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
And this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for San Francisco, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.
Got your best friend hanging out the arm though. Got game like I'm dropping me a console. No, I don't swim, but I give a. Now flex. checks anytime you see me step on a stage. Acting real soft like my skin coming beige. Gonna step out and with him, girl, you fake. Try to get it out, what you handsome. You ain't dance on. Tell your boyfriend, go and put your hands on. Down, the best friend. She went and did the same thing. I'm really mad, but she won't know. Everything has gotta be cool when we living so cold. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting I'm gonzo, headed where the homie live, cause it's on, yo. I was chasing 3 women like I'm Mojo Jojo, so my girl got mad and she my bro. Monica, you're wrong, though. That's against a bro code. Headed to his home, though. No, he living solo. Vertebrae, got this broken to his place. It's chin in his face, yeah. From then I say it's evidence you entertain my loyalty to infiltrate. The only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. How my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up, then I again. Gone. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting cold.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Then the juke move, Heisman, stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. It is not a game, it is not a game. Banging on your chest when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah.